This is a recipe that I found by accident and fell in love with it. And everyone else that I have made it for, they said it was the best dressing they'd ever had. And I have to agree. Anyone can find this recipe. Just go online. It's called Grandma's Thanksgiving Turkey Stuffing. But it can also be a dressing because I don't stuff my turkey with anything but one stick of Land O'Lakes butter, and that's it. So, what this consists of, this is artesian bread that you can just buy. It's a denser bread. I cut it up into 1-inch cubes and I put it in a roaster pan and let it air out overnight. And so I actually used 2 loaves. Now I haven't put both loaves in here. If I need to grab some more bread, I will. But it requires 3 to 15 cups of bread, and I was not going to measure that out, but I think this is the right amount. It's probably a loaf and 3/4 of a loaf. So yesterday I took, this is a lot, so just don't even think about it. Just do what I'm telling you to do. This consists of 3 sticks of butter. I did all of this yesterday. It is 3 sticks of butter, and then you add a cup of chopped celery and 1 cup of diced onion, and you just let it cook until it becomes very tender. I put it in a bowl and I've just warmed it up in the microwave. So you can prep this. If you can't do it all in one day, you can prep it ahead. So that's what I did. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pour it over all this bread. Then what I'm going to add, I have to add 2 eggs. So I'm just going to whip them up very nicely. I always feel like this is an important part. Recipes don't necessarily tell you to do this, but if you want things to turn out right, you really need to do this right here. Just whip them up and then pour that over your bread as well. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the salt, the poultry seasoning, and the pepper in this ramekin. The recipe actually calls for 2 1/4 teaspoons full of salt, but I don't do that. When you're using salted butter, that's really not necessary. So I use a 1/2 teaspoonful of salt. I also use a teaspoon of black pepper. And I also use, with poultry seasoning, it requires, let me see what exactly is it saying, 1½ tablespoons of poultry seasoning. So I'm going to use my teaspoon and I'm going to put, well, let's use 1/2 teaspoon. That works. 1/2 teaspoon. So that's 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I'm going to mix this up thoroughly. Sprinkle this over the top. And then the next thing that I have to add is chicken stock. And I buy unsalted. If you add salted chicken stock, it'll be way, way, way too salt. And so this requires 1½ cups. So that's what I'm going to put in here right now. Perfect. Make sure I read that correctly because you can't take it out once you put it in. 1½ cups. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to pour this. And now I'm going to stir all this up. All right, so we want all of this very well mixed and integrated. And I have some more breadcrumbs over to the side. I don't want this to be real soupy, but it seems like to me this is the perfect amount. And this was like a loaf and 3/4 of a loaf. And this is perfect. Okay, now what I put mine in to cook it, which just makes for an awesome presentation. I'm going to disappear and come right back. I put it in a well-greased cast iron skillet. And actually it's just great. It fits nicely. The finished product looks good. Where I think it looks good because I like cast iron. But this is the best dressing, without a doubt. You can buy the stuff in the bag at the grocery store, but honestly, it'll never taste like this tastes. This is just, well, it's awesome. If you like bread and butter, onions, celery, seasoning, this is it. This is just perfect. And you could probably use just leftover bread at home. You just want dense bread. And you want it to dry out. You want it to dry out so it will absorb the liquid. So here you go. So I'm just going to review my recipe one more time. See what I need to do next. All right, the next thing that we do with this is that it goes in the oven for 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. Now, I will check on this probably after about 20 minutes, and if it's nice and bubbly and it has crunchies on the top, then I know that it's done. But I'll show you when we take it out of the oven. Okay, so this is how the dressing turned out. I really try very hard not to eat bread, but this is one thing I truly cannot resist. It is delicious. So I'm just going to take some off the side here. It's amazing. Yeah, I think I'll just have this and a slice of turkey and be done. Very good.